Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to call to order the March 7th meeting of the Conejo Recreation and Park District Board of Directors. And I'd like to ask Director Cutsworth if you'd please lead us in the flag salute.
Your right hand on your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Cutsworth. Roll call, please. Here.
Director Nichols,
Yes.
Director Huffer,
Yes.
Director Cussworth,
Here.
and Director Buss.
Yes.
We have a quorum present. We're moving on to item 3, special presentation, part-time employees service awards. Who's going to kick this off?
I will. Thank you, Chair Lang and members of the board. So I'm very pleased today to introduce you to a couple of our part-time staff that have been recognized for our annual service award. They were nominated by their supervisors or people that they work with. And we actually, Recreation went out and already gave them a little award, and then they were invited here today so that you can hear all about them also. So with that, you guys in the audience, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a name and you'll go up to the podium so that the board members can see who you are. And then when I'm all done, you'll be available to say something if you would like. We won't make you, but if you would like. And then I think you guys gonna go at the end, you'll make comments after I do all 7 of them? Is that how you
Yes.
would do it? Okay, perfect.
And then photo op.
And photo op at the very end. So please don't leave until all of our award winners have been recognized. So the first one we're gonna do tonight is Jill. We're gonna just start with Jill. Yep. That way they can see who I'm talking about. So Jill is an activities instructor at the Thousand Oaks Community Center. Over her nearly 30 years working at CRPD, she began as a contract instructor in 1995. Sorry, I'm saying ages here. Jill has made herself into a household name in the Conejo Valley. She transitioned from being a contract instructor to her current position of activities instructor in 2021. Her passion for teaching is unparalleled, and the connections she makes with families lasts for decades. Just in this past year, Jill has mentioned at least a dozen times that kids that were in her parent-child classes 20 plus years ago are now enrolled as parents bringing their little ones to see Miss Jill. It is also a regular occurrence for parents to come into the center to ask which classes she will be teaching so that they can make sure to sign up for hers. She goes above and beyond in her classes, creating memorable and imaginative lessons for the kids. The amount of preparation and creativity in her lesson plans is impressive. One example is that she has called numerous states and even other countries to speak with their departments of tourism to have them send materials that she uses for her classes for around the world. Some of the programs she loves to teach are Cooking Up a Story, Babies in Motion, Around the World, Baby and Me, and countless others over the years. As an additional note, her family grew up in the community as well. Her son even built a bridge as a service project for the Boy Scouts. That is still in use at the Conejo Community Center. Thank you, Jill, for the many years of service and caring about our families and our community.
Well, thank you very much for everybody. And I just want to say that I am so thankful that I get to be here, that Lori Olbrich, almost 30 years ago, took me in, and everybody since then has just always cared for me in a most wonderful way. It means a lot. And oh, you know what I wanted to say? When I wrote to Switzerland, they sent us chocolates. So, never hurts to ask. But anyway, George was in my class, in baby class. And so anyway, I just want to thank everybody so much for a job that I love. I've always said I feel sorry for other people that don't have my.
All right, the next person coming up, and you guys, I didn't say it before, but if you have family here or anybody you'd like to introduce, please do so. Feel free to do that. Natalie is next. As she's walking up there, I will start. So Natalie is a recreation specialist for the Hillcrest Center for the Arts. Natalie is an enormous asset to the culture unit. She is our lead staff for all things marketing, website, box office related. She is also an associate producer. Natalie is professional, efficient, creative, diligent, and organized. This year, Natalie has produced striking and effective designs for a full season of productions, helping us to surpass our attendance goals. Natalie also supports the All District Music Festival, Art Gallery, monthly stand-up comedy, and much more. Natalie's has produced striking and innovative digital backdrops and projections for all productions. Man, they're trying to tongue tie me. But she did outdo herself at the last season's Into the Woods and the Phantom of the Opera. For Into the Woods, Natalie had to create a grayscale, very detailed stuff, you guys. For Phantom of the Opera, if anybody saw that, it did make Jim cry 3 times, I heard. Natalie's projections allowed us to sail into the Gothic sewers of Paris. My favorite still, though, are the many, many projections she made for our production of Comic Book Artist that even included an animated cartoon Leonardo da Vinci who stole every scene he popped in. If a task is on Natalie's to-do list, we know it's getting done. Natalie has a plan for each event at the Hillcrest Center for the Arts and is consistently on the top of 4 or 5 events at a time. Each show gets graphic designs, multiple emails sent out, ads placed in local newspapers, social media posts and booths, online calendar listings, programs created and printed, and some even get t-shirt designs ordered and distributed. Natalie manages 2 websites for hillcrestarts.com and Young Artist Ensemble Online. Natalie is also our box office guru. Which means she manages our box office software as well as daily deposits and closeouts from our office staff. As if that were not enough, I'm still going. Natalie also markets our unit classes, maintains our snack bar, performs in our staged readings, and is the only one who can consistently open the safe. That's a good task to have. We should keep her. Natalie is a positive, productive, creative, caring, invested, and essential member to the cultural unit team. We are so lucky and grateful to have someone who cares so deeply about our programs and our community. Thank you, Natalie.
I just wanted to say thank you guys for this award. And not only for this award, but for continuing your support for arts programs such as the Young Artists Ensemble and for allowing me the creativity that you were just talking about. So that's great. Thank you to Brianne and Megan for the nomination and for their unwavering encouragement. Thanks to Mark, Ian, and Lauren for their tireless efforts in creating such a wonderful environment for all our performers. And thanks to Esther, Nick, Natalie, Aubrey, and Christy for keeping everything running smoothly during the evenings and weekends. And I want to say special thanks to my parents and my family for their endless love and support and for teaching me the value of hard work and for the importance of creativity. That's it. Thank you.
Wow.
All right, the next person we're going to go with is Aiden. Yay. So, and just so you guys know, I didn't actually write all this stuff. Their supervisors, this is what they nominated with them. So words from the people who work with them. So Aiden is a recreation leader at the Conejo Community Center. Aiden is known as Fox, is charismatic, hardworking, and a strong leader. He started with the Conejo Community Center in 2021 as a recreation leader, working on various programs from after-school enrichment, early childhood, and safe passage classes. Aiden is always happy to work in any program area and willing to learn new skill sets such as archery. Aiden is passionate, funny, and we often hear positive feedback from peers, class, and program participants and parents. He's always looking to improve and make a difference in the programs and classes he is assigned. During the last school year, the Acacia ELOP program needed a strong staff member to lead the program. Aiden was our guy. In his role, he ensured the rotations took place for the children, safety guidelines were followed, children participated in homework time, and communicated any updates or incidents that occurred throughout the program. Because Aiden did such a great job last year, he's also the lead for this year. The youth in the program admire and look forward to seeing Aiden every day. Aiden peers also look to him for guidance in their programs. He has made a tremendous difference and has contributed to the many successes of all of the programs. Aiden served as a senior camp counselor at Wildwood Camp and frequently handled challenging situations with the participants and parents. His experience working in day camps allowed him to provide his fellow counselors with much needed guidance and to give them the tools necessary for them to succeed in their own roles. Aiden brings exciting energy to each day of camp, helping to ensure that his participants had the best experience possible. He also filled in as camp director for multiple camps when folks were out sick or not at work that day. Aiden has committed himself as a key member of the team at the Conejo Center, and we look forward to watching him continue to grow both personally and professionally. Yay!
Thank you. I'd first like to thank the board of directors for having me. Thank you to Juliet, Kellen, Brian for being here. You know, without any of them or my coworkers back here, like Jared, Jaden, and Jillian, this program and the time at my CCC isn't as fun as it is. And I absolutely love what I do, and I'm glad to be here. And thank you to my mother who's filming me right now. She's my guidance throughout my life, and thank you all.
All right, next we have Colin. So Colin is a senior recreation leader at the Global Adult Community Center. Colin has been a recreation leader at the Global Center since 2018. During this time, Colin has proven himself to be dependable, efficient, knowledgeable about all things global, proficient with computer matters, sincere, caring, and helpful to our seniors, and overall invaluable. Colin oversees teaching our seniors who need more confidence with computers and programs. He helps them be more comfortable and learn how to troubleshoot problems on their own. I probably should go to your class. His 45-minute private lessons have become very popular and extremely beneficial to our seniors. Colin creates and produces the monthly special events flyer and tickets that are extremely popular at Global. He also creates the registration form for the volunteer instructor taught classes and ensures that these classes are in the registration ready for staff when it's time for the seniors to sign up. Colin is an extremely helpful coworker, whether it is helping with covering shifts, assisting with tasks, helping train new staff, or taking on any added responsibilities. He always has a positive attitude and a helpful spirit and is patient and kind with seniors. I hope staff too. Colin has become invaluable to his supervisors and is a go-to staff when immediate assistance is needed with computer technical help. One Tuesday evening back in September, the power went out in the building and surrounding parking lot areas. Colin took it upon himself to get a flashlight and escort the seniors to their vehicles to ensure that they made it safely. After this, I received, not me, Patty, I think, Received many calls from seniors that wanted them to know that he is a wonderful person and that he was exemplary employee. We very much appreciate and applaud Colin's efforts that evening as well as every day he has a shift at Goble. Thank you, Colin, for all that you do for the seniors in our community.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. Not great at receiving compliments or awards at all, but I really appreciate it. CRPD has always taken care of me. They've always been loyal and helpful. All of the above. Same with my coworkers, my bosses, Mike, Patty, Emily, Mark, Clevon, Diego, all of them. Mike and Patty have always encouraged me, and they've been nothing but supportive, and I really appreciate that. I probably wouldn't have been at Goble as long as I have without everybody I work with. Administration, I got to give you guys credit too. Everything you've been doing with the parks and entertainment classes and stuff. The bike parks, the updates, skate parks. I go to them with my little nephews. They love it. Great job. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Heidi is next. So Heidi is a recreation aide at the Dos Vientos Community Center. Heidi came to CRPD as a participant. Her and her brother both have been coming to DVC summer camps and classes for many years. They've grown up in the Dos Vientos community, utilizing many of the CRPD programs and amenities, hiking, trails, pony baseball, riding bikes, swimming, classes, and camps. Heidi started volunteering at Dos Vientos Center in 2022. Due to her outstanding work ethic, positive work culture, keen eye for attention, constructive feedback, she was hired on March of 2023. So it's the 1-year anniversary. Yeah. As a recreation aide. Heidi loves challenges, and any chance she gets, she's always striving to learn how to do her job better. Summer 2023, she was a tremendous help in the summer adventure camp. She worked with recreation leaders for the entire summer. When she is in programs, she familiarizes her tasks and immediately starts working on camp setup, supplies needed for the day. She takes the initiative in getting things done. She is eager to learn more and to transition into a leadership role in the future. When given the opportunities to step up for more responsibility, she's always ready to lead. If there are participants who are shy or apprehensive about being in the program, she will help them transition into having fun and being a part of camp. Heidi contributes to the development and brainstorming meetings and trainings for future programs. She has great suggestions and advice. She's been involved in many district-wide special events. Her smile and great attitude sets an example for other employees. Other DVC staff recognize her positive contributions to the team and the community. Heidi works part-time while going to Newberry Park High School, balancing school and playing on the JV varsity soccer team. She is always looking for openings in her demanding schedule to help out at the community events and programs at DVC. We love and appreciate all that you do.
Thank you so much for all the nice things you just said about me. I didn't think I was going to speak, so I don't know, I'm just gonna make it up right now. But thank you to the board for having me. Thank you to Rick and Tamara for giving me all the opportunities I have to work in camp. And Tamara and I were talking today just about how she notices that I genuinely enjoy camp and genuinely enjoy the special events. It's not like a fake kind of thing, just doing it to get paid or anything. I genuinely love being there and working with the kids. And I cherish every single moment I get at camp and getting to learn about new perspectives from people, new experiences, and I genuinely enjoy it. Thank you to all my coworkers who nominated me. I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, thank you. I hope I get to work for CRPD for a lot more years.
I'm pretty sure Tamara and Rick heard that, so. All right, Taylor, you are next. So Taylor is a recreation leader at our therapeutic unit. Taylor has been with the therapeutic recreation unit as a recreation leader since 2021. Taylor started at the unit as a high school volunteer with the Thousand Oaks Youth Commission in 2012 and began regularly volunteering in 2013. Once Taylor got involved with the TR unit, as they say, the rest is history. She started working for the TR unit as a camp counselor at the Old Meadows Center in 2017. She graduated from George Washington University. She loves traveling the world and is fluent in 4 languages, plus a little bit of Russian. During COVID-19, Taylor dedicated time to keeping the youth engaged in classwork, while also creating a safe environment for individuals to continue to socialize. She regularly leads a variety of weekday and seasonal programs, including adult socials and friends, summer and winter day camps, cooking classes, and art. Taylor doesn't just lead programs. She immerses herself in the experience, especially dancing at the special events. Taylor puts herself in the shoes of her participants, taking them places they may never go. With her around the world weeks where she engages the participants in not just facts about the culture. She teaches them traditional dances, cooks food from the specific country, teaches participants greetings in different languages, and creates art projects to mimic a famous event or art style in the country they are traveling to. Taylor directed our youth summer and winter day camps and plans themes of the week with fine detail, adapts on the fly, gets messy, and sends campers home with big smiles each day. Taylor takes the initiative in asking for programs she would like to lead. She is spoken highly of by every individual she encounters, whether it is a participant, a peer, a parent, a grandparent, a behavioral aide, or a supervisor. She brings a shining light to every program she is part of, leading or assisting, and is fully present when she is in this role. Taylor continues to grow in her role, bringing new ideas to the unit, advocating for the participants, and delivering the utmost quality programs to all of the communities she serves. We are so grateful to have Taylor on our team. Thank you.
So thank you so much for having us tonight, and thank you to the Board of Directors and CRPD for having a therapeutic unit. And honestly, I think that a community can be and should be judged by how it treats its most vulnerable citizens. And I think that like everyone should have a right to a fun and enriching life. And I love what I do at Therapeutics. And I really want to say thank you to Devin and Corinne. And even though she's not here, Cecilia Laufenberg, who used to be the supervisor for Therapeutic Rec, you guys have just really created such a positive and amazing work environment for us, and just an amazing environment for our participants. And I love what we do. And I would also just like to thank my parents and my family and my coworkers. And yes, thank you, everybody.
All right. And our last one for the evening is Darlene. So Darlene is a senior recreation leader for our Borchard Community Center. She has been part of the Conejo Creek Borchard family since 2010, when she was a 2nd grade student in the Conejo Creek Homework Club program. I was like getting confused there for a second. She began volunteering with the Conejo Creek Mommy and Me, Just Teacher and Me, and Homework Club program starting in 2012, and participated in the Teen Club for 3 years. In June of 2018, Darlene joined the CRPD staff team. She became a recreation aide and worked at the Conejo Creek Homework Club. Her ability to connect with the kids was clear, and the relationship that she fostered with the community was immeasurable. In 2019, Darlene was promoted to recreation leader, and she began taking on more tasks and becoming more involved at the Borchard Community Center. She oversaw preschool enrichment programs, summer and holiday programs, and assisted with district-wide special events. Darlene has a high level of precision with her work and displays an endless drive and initiative. In 2022, she was promoted to senior recreation leader. Darlene is a champion when it comes to her interpersonal skills. She relates easily with her coworkers along with the community and entails a special skill where she can defuse conflict diplomatically. That's a good skill. Her happy and positive demeanor is infectious among everyone, as she always makes sure that everyone is greeted when they walk through the door. She is well known for her readiness to work hard and proactively seeks out new tasks to keep busy. Darlene was the co-lead for the 2023 Spring Arts and Crafts Festival and is currently preparing for the 2024 festival, which actually happened on Saturday, which I heard was very good. She has also been a key staff with the CRPD Rec Van Outreach Days. She has also enhanced her administration skills by assisting with flyer development, Excel projects, reservations, registration, invoices, and much more. She's a full-time student at Moore Park College, and we are so proud of all that Darlene has done and happy to have her on our team. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for the award and thank you to the board. I also want to say thank you to Kurt and Michael for all the support and opportunities you guys have given me. I also want to say thank you to my family and my friends who are here tonight. I appreciate you guys and for all the support you guys give me. And yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you all. That is so great, all your accomplishments in such a short period of time, and we really appreciate you. I'm going to ask for board comments, and I'm going to start on my far right. Director Huffer.
All I can say is, wow,
Yeah.
what you 7 folks and your colleagues have accomplished as part-timers. I mean, Rochelle's running down the list of everything that you've been doing is absolutely amazing. And to hear several of you got your start as participants in our programs is just really cool. To hear that some of you have been involved for years and years is really cool. At least one of you is still in, I guess one of you is in high school, one of you is still in college, and you're able to combine your education and work is absolutely terrific. But most importantly, it's the 7 of you and everyone else in this room who really represents the Park District. You're the face of Conejo Recreation and Park District, and what you do reflects not just on your particular unit, but on everybody involved from the highest levels down to, you know, everybody working in the district. So on behalf of the district, just want to thank all of you for what you do. It's a great, and hope that you do indeed continue for years and years and years. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Huffer. Director Cussworth.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty emotional actually. When you were talking about all these things that you're doing, it just made me feel like we've got the best employees in the world here at Conejo Rec. It's all the good things you do. And I wrote a few notes. I mean, Jill, 30 years, I did 6 years of parent and child work. It's a difficult job. And you said that you're happy for all the people who cared for you. You cared for them. So thank you for devoting such a large part of your life, these young children, and helping their parents. It's a wonderful thing to do. And Natalie, whoa, everything about our cultural unit I love. I like all of it. My family just grew up and did so much in the cultural unit. So thank you for providing that. Thank you for providing that to our community to make this just an arts lively place. I mean, that just really touched my heart. Aiden, you're just a leader, taking on initiative and being a leader and stepping in. Fabulous. I mean, that is so impressive. Colin, I've worked with. It's nice when I can occasionally work with people. So I've worked with Colin and he knows his tech and he gets things set up and he's kind of a quiet guy, but he knows what he's doing. So, Colin, I'm going to come and have you help me with computers someday. Now that I know about that you're giving these lessons, I could use them. Then I don't have to call my son and husband and daughter all the time. So they'll be asking me. Heidi, boy, you grew up, you volunteered, you've got a great future ahead of you, Heidi. I mean, what an attitude. Having an attitude like that, that's going to take you far. That's going to really take you far. Keep it up. I mean, I'm just so proud and happy that you are on our team. Fabulous, Heidi. And Taylor, wow. Taylor, I mean, I'm looking at you here and I'm thinking, what are you an attorney or something? I mean, you look so professional and yet you are devoting your life to people who really need help. And a lot of people can't do that. And you said that you can tell what kind of a community people are by how they help the less vulnerable. You can tell the kind of a person someone is when they are helping people that really need the help and devoting a lot of their time to that, or probably most of your time right now. Thank you so much. And then Darlene, how can we not love Darlene? I mean, they're helping out, growing up, volunteering, and still there at Borchard. So I hope that I'm going to see you. You're going to all outlast me here, but I hope that for as long as I'm here, that we'll continue seeing you and making Conejo Recreation and Park District such a wonderful place to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Cusworth. Director Bust.
Yeah, this is such an amazing group. Jill, I have to say, being a working mom and having your kid go to preschool and go to mommy and me classes, like my little ones, like they loved Miss Mary. And so being that person in so many families' lives is such an important role and so important to moms. So thank you for that, for all the years that you've done that. Natalie with the Young Artist Group. So my niece has recently done 2 plays and I was watching the Finding Nemo on the screen in the back and I was like, oh, I wonder how they do all that. So now I know that you're the one who probably did that one too. Yeah, it's like a really nice effect because it's not just a plain background or, it really changes the mood of the performance. So I love it. And thank you because my niece is just over the moon with being involved in it. And so it's really helped her come out of her shell. So it's so important. Aiden, so my girls go to Acacia and I really appreciate you being involved in the ELOP. That's huge. Those kids really need the support. Not a lot of people know the demographics that we have at Acacia, but I really appreciate it. So that's huge for you being a strong male role model for them. And that's awesome. I really appreciate it. And Heidi with, or Colin, I'm sorry, with the seniors. So I just visited the Global Center the other day and I'm also on the board of Senior Concerns, and it's really important to provide the support for our seniors in this community because a lot of times you don't realize how many seniors don't have support, and especially with technology where they are so targeted too, with fraud and what have you. So that's awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to work with seniors on computers, which I'm sure can be somewhat, you have a lot of patience, I imagine. And yeah, Heidi with the kids over there at Dos Vientos. So I played soccer. I love the fact that you're a soccer player and that you're also working with the kids because my little ones, I will tell you, the big girls at whatever camp counselor, they idolize you. And so that's awesome that you love them back because they can feel it. I can tell you, my little one's always like, I know so-and-so's phone code. I'm like, they just, like you guys are their world. I hear it all. So they just, yeah, they adore all of you. Taylor, I cannot believe you can speak 4 languages. That is absolutely amazing. And I love that you're bringing, so I don't travel often at this point in my life, but I follow all the travel like on Instagram, right? So I love that you're bringing that to that community of people because they aren't traveling as much, but then you're getting them involved and cooking too on top of it. I mean, that's just amazing. I really appreciate that and that devotion. And Darlene, wow, you are amazing. Going to Moore Park College, doing all of this, working with the kids there, having grown up in the community and been involved with CRPD. I hope that when you do get your degree, you'll still stay with us because you are definitely a true treasure. So thank you all so much for your devotion to our community.
Thank you, Director Bus. Director Nichols.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess what a wonderful evening this has been. Can we just stop after this and just leave it a high note? This has been great. You know, I was hearing some of these very complimentary reviews of all of you, and I looked like, are we sure this is part-time employees? I mean, this is like, so I'm just wondering, what are the full-time employees doing? I mean, looks like the part-time employees have got everything. They're doing a little bit of everything. I mean, it's just fantastic. And also, I didn't realize that their programs that we put in our little catalog are really for recruitment purposes. I didn't realize how many of these folks here started in the programs. And we've heard that, you know, time and again, but it continues to be, you know, experiences. We hear that, and which is just, you know, fantastic. And to me, that just speaks to the organization is to, you know, it's a great place to learn and a great place to visit, to enjoy the parks. But then to hear how people just enjoy working here. In fact, Aiden, didn't I see you on Instagram this week? I think so. Yeah, just, you know, extolling the benefits of working for the Park District, which, you know, as we've heard before, I mean, you folks are the face of the Park District. You know, we get a lot of thanks as board members, but you know, it's you folks that are there. But as I see the support, I mean, you know, the staff members, you know, the back row back there that are supporting, and then the family members. I mean, what a great festive occasion this is. To me, that also speaks to why these people are that we're honoring who they are because of that support. You know, we get the benefit of them from being here, but you folks are actually providing that support. So thank you for doing that. And the training, some of them are, you know, still in that training phase, the real young ones. But thank you so much for that. You know, our community benefits from it. You know, we get to thank you, but it's really the community that thanks you, you know, whether they know your phone passcode or whatever it is. You know, the little ones adore you, the parents appreciate you, and even more so as a board member, I appreciate because I hear so many people throughout the community just, you know, say, oh, the parks are great, the programs are great. I don't have a whole lot to do with that. It's, you know, you employees that do that. I mean, it's obviously all the way up, and I say it, you know, the administrative team, the executive team, the general manager, all. But to hear it not only about you, but from you, you know, as you tell us here, I mean, that just kind of warms my heart. It's just like, wow, what a great organization. You know, I've always known that, you know, I've been in the community for 40 years and known a lot about it, but to hear that it's continuing on and, you know, and the stories. So thank you for your dedication. And actually, I kind of wish some of you wouldn't go to college, you know, just stay, you know, stay here, just keep working for us. You know, don't, you know,
Go to school.
yeah. Just keep staying here. You know, I know but I'm also glad that we have the flexibility that we can accommodate that. But thank you for your dedication. Thank you for making the Park District what it is. Without you, we couldn't do it. So thank you. And thank you all for being here tonight.
Thank you, Director Nichols, and thank you, each and one of you great board members. You've said everything that I was thinking of saying. Especially, it's important to know that you've been involved with CRPD for the number of years that you have, whether you were a participant at 2 years old or whatever the age may have been, or whatever as a member of a sports team, et cetera, and to see to continue to have a relationship with CRPD and to give back is super. And as has been said, as I mentioned by other board members, but the fact that you are the ones out on the line with the users, our community members, when they interface with you, interact with you, and see what you do, that reflects so positively on the whole district, and we appreciate that. And yes, we wish you could be with us for a long, long time, but these experiences that you're having today, yesterday, in the future with the Park District is going to contribute to your future life and what you contribute to our society. So thank you very much. Keep up the good work. Okay, as photo op.
Let's do it. The award recipients come on up. No.
Krista, how old are your daughters?
9 and 12.
9 and 12?
Mhm. Yeah.
We have a 12 and a 10-year-old granddaughters.
All right. Yeah. And then my nieces, like 'cause my siblings, we all live here. We all live within like a mile of each other. And so like my niece is performing in the plays right now. And it's been so fun to like go and see because I had meant to go last year to things and then just never made it. And then I'm like, oh, this is great. Like I have to go. But it's been really fun.
What a team.
Yeah, yeah. Right? I almost agree. Like, that's such a warm, fuzzy feeling. It's so good.
Yep.
I was thinking back to all the employee recognition. Foreman, college, get them in, get them out. Then in the afternoon, the families can't show up. We have one city council. That's it. It's just like, you know, just, you need the certificate.
Right.
This is a lot.
Yeah, no, this is good. You're the star. Get in there.
Uh,
Well done. That was great.
Oh, that's right.
did I see gray hair on a Rick? Oh, my gosh.
I did, I don't know what. I know, it's hot.
Okay, if you'd, please exit the room for now. Okay, we're going to continue our meeting, starting at item 4, items from the public. Do we have any public online? Okay, and none in person. Moving on to items 5, approval agenda. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll move. That we approve the agenda.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
And a second. Any corrections or changes? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstentions, hearing on that motion will pass. We're moving on to item number 6, consent calendar, A and B, approval of the February, excuse me, the minutes for February 15th. And B, approval of the warrants as indicated in the staff report. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of consent calendar items A and B.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Maybe having a motion and a second. Any other thoughts or comments or questions come to mind? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, hearing none, that motion passes. Moving on to item 7, deferred matters. We have none this evening. Moving on to item 8, items for discussion. No items for discussion on the agenda. Moving on to item 9, new items. 9A, resolution number 030724-A, authorizing submittal of the Older American Act grant application to Ventura County Area Agency on Aging, VCAAA, project year July 1st, 2024, July 30th, 2025. Staff, please.
Thank you, Chair Ling, members of the board. So this is something you guys usually see about once a year. So this is for the senior nutrition program. As you know, we serve about 60 patrons a day through the VC AAA program that we run out of the Goebel Center Cafe. It provides lunches for the seniors who qualify. And this is basically the approval for staff to complete the request for the grant to receive the dollars from VC AAA of approximately $124,000. Some years they do ask for us to file a application, some years they don't. So we're trying to get ahead of the game this year and just get your approval so that we can fill it out if that is a request this year. And we're in good standings with them. The program's running great, and Julie and her team over there do a fantastic job at it. So with that, I'm just asking for approval, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Callis. Board members, any questions associated with this agenda item? Real quick, has the numbers, I know the numbers you said you served, have the numbers kind of remained the same over recent years or is there fluctuation?
Yeah, during COVID, we actually got approval to serve more people. Um, but the grant is for the 60-ish amount of people. So
COVID.
2020, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you handle more if, there's space available, program availability?
Possibly.
Okay. Okay, board members, any questions come to mind? If not, I'd entertain a motion. Oh, it's a resolution.
I will make this recommendation that we approve resolution number 030724-A authorizing submittal of the Older Americans Act grant application, that it be read in title only and all future readings be waived.
Thank you, Director Cusworth. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Director Huffer. We have a motion and a second to approve this resolution.
Are we
So-
going to read it first?
She's going to read it.
Yeah. Oh, after we do the thing? I thought she did it before. Okay.
Elaine, would you please read the resolution in title only?
Resolution 030724-A, a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Conejo Recreation and Park District authorizing the submittal of the Older Americans Act grant application to Ventura County Area Agency on Aging for project year July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
Thank you, Elaine. Appreciate that. We have a motion and a second. It's been read in title only. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, hearing none, that motion will pass. Moving on to item B, resolution number 030724-B, adopting a preliminary operating budget fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Staff, Melissa.
Thank you, Chair and board members. So you're probably wondering, we do a 2-year budget. Why am I back here bugging you? So yes, we do a 2-year budget. This is for the second year of that 2-year budget. We are required to do a preliminary budget by June 30 and a final budget by September 1st. And it's best practices to include public hearings in between the preliminary and the final to ensure that there's an opportunity for community input. So this is the adoption of the preliminary budget. It's exactly the same as the budget that you approved for that fiscal year. And in June, I'll be coming with any recommended changes that we might have. Those are typically minor in nature or they're relative to either to capital project timing, carryovers, things like that. Or the one thing I know we're going to be adding is the new Conservancy $1 million grant. So we'll be adding that in June. But right now, this is just the preliminary budget that you all already approved last June. And I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Board members, any comments, questions associated with this preliminary budget? Yes,
Just a
Director
comment.
Nichols.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a comment. This is on the last page, page 59, where has a list of items for fleet, IT, and recreation. I'd like to request that underneath the vehicles, the half-ton truck, three-quarter-ton truck, et cetera, or his EV or Best Tech, if those be removed and not clarified or classified, just leave it as is. So they're not either restricted or targeted for anything, just to leave them as the vehicle itself.
That comment understood?
Yes, I can include it in the motion when I take the budget adjustments.
Sure.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions by board members? If not, this is a resolution. I'd entertain a motion. Director Huffer.
Thank you, Director Lang. I'd like to move approval of resolution number 030724-B to be read in title only, all future readings to be waived.
Thank you. A second to that resolution?
I'll make a second.
Thank you, Director Cusworth. We have a motion and a second. Could you read that in title only, please?
Resolution number 030724-B, a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Conejo Recreation and Park District adopting the fiscal year 2024 to 2025 preliminary budget for the district.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions that come to mind? If not, all in favor of that resolution, say aye. Opposed, abstentions, hearing none, that motion will pass. Item number 10, reports and announcements, A and B. Any questions associated with the two listed reports? I have a real quick one, Rochelle, as far as the Unplug event. I remember when it first started, I think it was in a activity over at the Global Adult Center or something like that. How has that progressed? I've seen, comments in your reports about it, but how has that, been moved along?
It changes a little bit every year, but we basically focus on things that don't include electronics for that day, just encouraging people. I think it's just really important to encourage people to unplug. One story that happened this year, just kind of off it, someone at this Global Center actually saw the unplug stuff and all the things that were going on and that we were encouraging people to unplug. She actually left me a message. She was a teacher or some kind of a teacher in Santa Clarita. And she did like a 2-hour presentation with someone else. And it was like a techie type thing, but she talked about unplugging. So disconnecting from digital devices. And she called to congratulate us and say, thank you so much for the idea and for being a leader in this. And I wish more rec and parks would actually help people unplug from this type of stuff. So that was an interesting comment from this year. So.
Very good. Thank you. Yes, Director Huffer.
Yeah, I'm just sort of curious. I was looking at the date for the Mountain High expedition, and I guess it was early enough that it didn't run into any problems. But I'm just wondering if they have a plan B in case they have weather like they did a week ago, whether, it would prevent them from getting up there, or if they were up there when a blizzard hit, what plan B might be.
Plan A would be not to go up when there's a possible blizzard. So unless it was a sporadic thing, that's a good thing to think about. Like, what is the plan if we got stuck up there for some reason? So we'll add that into some discussion. But they're usually really ahead of the game at looking at the weather, and they wouldn't go up if there was a possibility that they wouldn't make it back down because of weather.
Okay, just
But
curious as I was sitting in the warmth of Hawaii looking at the so.
Thank goodness it wasn't that. Now, another staff went to June Lake during that time and they got stuck up there in June Lake, so, but not our kids.
Okay. Not seeing any other hands raised associated with our reports and announcements. We're moving on to item 11, department reports. And we're going to start with Andrew and our Park Division report.
So no report tonight, but I'm available for questions.
Okay. Any questions? Yes, Director Cussworth.
What is motivating the mustache?
I was prepared to answer that. It's actually Mustache March, and I am wearing a ridiculous mustache. One, to embarrass my 3 girls, but 2, we're involved in a local charity, and I'm using it to bring awareness to that. And I can talk with you after the meeting if you'd be interested in hearing about it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, moving on to item B, Recreation Division report. Ms. Callis.
Thank you, Chair Lang, members of the board. I have a couple of things because I just have not talked enough today. So first of all, tax season is, I think, another month or so, or half a month left to get your taxes in. So they're doing really great stuff over there still. I haven't been able to stop by yet, but I hope to. We are starting hiring. You saw all these great team members here tonight. We have a ton of people out there that are doing great things, and we are in the process of starting to hire the probably 80 to 100 summer staff that we're going to need. So, anyone, you talk to anyone, you see your cool little reels on Facebook. Make sure you share them so that we can get it out there. One of the best places to work. I think I told you guys a while ago, we got an award from CPRS for the Marketing and Communications Award of Excellence. And our staff went to the CPRS conference, and we've got this beautiful, along with Nellie. Nellie was sending us back pictures of the bragging rights, and got this really nice plaque to recognize all the hard work that marketing did, our 2-person team, and over specifically for the 60th anniversary stuff. So that was really nice. So they're feeling the love. And then just as a reminder, I think the last thing that I have is Bark in the Park is on Saturday. So hopefully it's on your calendar. With that, I am done.
Okay,
What ages do you hire for summer camp? What's the youngest?
The youngest is 15 and a half with a work permit.
Okay.
Most kids that we hire are 16 or older.
Okay.
But there have been a few that have started with us at 15 and a half with work permits.
Do they have to be 15 and a half when they apply, or when they actually start the job?
I think that depends on what the high school says. Is it fit? They have to be able to obtain a work permit.
I had a work permit at 14.
I think it's 15 and a half.
Wow. I worked at Round Table. I made pizzas.
Oh, okay.
okay. Any other comments or questions come to mind for Ms. Callis? Moving on to item C, Management Services Division.
Thank you, Chair and
Smith.
Directors. I have no report for you tonight, but I do want to give a shout out to our IT team. There is a statewide Frontier outage right now that's affecting our phones. It affected our processing for credit cards the week of registration. And so thank you, staff, for being patient as we solve this, but also to Mark and Matt over there and Katie for helping us get that all done. And then Matt had the added bonus of trying to fix the video tonight. So thank you, IT. And yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Item D, General Manager's Report. Mr. Frito.
Thank you, Chair Lang and members of the board. You all have the opportunity to kind of directly address the employees during the employee recognition and as it should be, but I just have to say how grateful I am to the people that we hire that hire the people like the part-time workers that were there. It's like the whole group. It's great. It's CRPD has some really awesome folks and we're really lucky. So I wanted to say that. I'm asking this board to be very zen about the date of the Conejo Canyon Bridge opening. It's Aline almost made Aline retire when we were looking at, I think, our 4th date. So just be really zen. I think the city folks have a really busy set of calendars. I think the rain caused the project finish date to move a couple times. So eventually you'll probably be just given a date and that'll be the date that it's going to be. So, and it's now, I think, in May, right? They're looking at May dates. So, all right. Had the opportunity to go to Kiwanis on Wednesday at the invitation of President Play Conejo President Ryan Van Omeren. So he's the president of Play Conejo. And it was because Kiwanis wanted to make sure that it was giving Play Conejo more than TO Rotary. So it gave us a check for $3,100 and basically said, this is because we wanted to give more than TO Rotary, because I guess TO Rotary had given a 3,000, I guess, last year. So Kiwanis is now top of the heap there. But it was really nice. There was some really good informed questions about what was Play Conejo obviously does its thing, but a lot of the questions then kind of go beyond Play Conejo and into CRPD. So I was glad I was there to be part of the Q&A at the end. So great group, 80, 90 people. It was crowded. It was good. Yeah. So that was fun and financially rewarding too. Director Nichols had asked me about kind of what's going on, and one of the things that we kind of like do as a background, like keep at it, and eventually something will come of it. This project, our ordinance code update, started before COVID. Tom did a bunch of work and got staff to kind of give comments, and then it kind of sat for a while, and we've kind of picked it back up. And we've made tremendous progress thanks to, Andrew and Rochelle there. So if you look at our existing code online, it is good. It's a good code, and we're not trying to like change how everything works, but we are in need of like freshening it up and kind of making it more up to date. And we do have over time, but what we have in our code is a lot of regulations and laws that people would recognize as, oh, these are the rules and regulations. But we also have a big section that is kind of just policies and guidelines that are more appropriate policies adopted by the board. So we've been working with an attorney, and we're going to split out the regulatory kind of legalistic rules for parks and create that as part of the ordinance, which has a higher level of kind of passage. We have to have 2 meetings and a second reading and all this kind of stuff and public notices, and then pull out the policy parts and call those, board level policies and have those looked at. We're hoping in about a month to maybe 2, we're going to be able to give you the updated code and policies to kind of cogitate over for some time before we bring something for you to actually take action on. We are trying to keep all the codes consistent with Casca's ordinances. We've been looking at MRCA ordinances, Casca ordinances. We're adding a civil penalty section that allows for a little more simplistic approach to ticket citing, all sorts of stuff. So it's we're not changing the nature of the rules or trying to do that per se. It's really about updating it and making it kind of bringing it into, 2024. So looking forward to bringing that big project to you sometime this year. And on the 21st at our next board meeting, we are going to be doing a bus tour. So hopefully you're all available at 4. I think you guys all told Lean you were. So just really quick, so you have it in your head, we're going to meet here. We actually have a special presentation scheduled. We'll just do it in the park room from Hillcrest Center for the Arts. And because they put together a video, we're going to kind of watch that first. Jump on a bus, go out to Rancho Potrero Community Equestrian Center, hit Borchard because of the skate park, Rancho Potrero because of the lighting project, Borchard for the skate park. Then we're going to hit Conejo Creek West, hopefully swing by Conejo Community Park if time allows, and then get back here. And what we're wanting to show you are planning projects and big capital improvement projects planned for the next year or so. So that's kind of the field trip. It'll be fun on a bus.
Sounds good. And the wheels go round and round right on the bus.
Yes.
All right. Okay, any questions of our general manager? Okay, we're moving on to item E, director's reports and follow-up reports on meetings, conferences attended. Director Nichols.
Okay, this was running down my calendar. On February 21st, we had a Casca Board of Directors meeting. February 24th was at the Conejo Creek North Playground ribbon cutting. February 29th, I had a California RPD Legislative Committee meeting. On March 5th, I had a California RPD Conference Committee meeting. On March 7th, just before this meeting, we had a Conejo Creek Master Plan Ad Hoc Committee meeting. And then coming up next week, I'll be in Sacramento on Tuesday and Wednesday with the California RPD Board of Directors. We will be having a board meeting in the evening of the 12th, and then the following morning, we're going to have a visit at the Capitol, meeting with legislators and key personnel of different state agencies, which has been a real benefit to have our legislative team benefiting the special districts, in particular with the park districts, the cooperative effort. And so this is just kind of an outgrowth of that. Again, the Park District is really becoming quite a player on Capitol Hill, believe it or not, just within the last couple of years. I just learned a new term. Well, actually, Melissa was on the call. I don't think Jim was there this week. When they take a position on certain legislation, they try to get a bunch of organizations to sign on to it to say, hey, we've got a lot of support. And then they put all their logos on the top of the letter. Well, they call those NASCAR letters because they, just like on a NASCAR race car, they got everybody, all the supporting entities are on the car. So they said that now they are looked at as an organization that they want their logo on their legislators. So it's like, okay, we're picking it up a notch. So appreciate that effort. So yeah, that'll be next week. And then just as a note, my daughter had been to her Mommy and Me class on Tuesday with the little ones, and that one of the guest presentations was one of the moms who had been through the program, who's also in, excuse me, the legal world, was cautioning moms about how much they're exposing their children on the internet, because things are different than when we grew up. You're younger. But he's saying it's amazing the way that those that have ill intentions can track your children and unfortunately pursue them. And so that she had gotten wind of that. So it's just like a word to the wise, especially in a world now with social media, that you just have to be extra cautious. I just was thinking of that from a park perspective. Not that we have to be particularly, restrictive in any way, but just to be cautionary. And then having been to that class on Tuesday, today she was at one of our parks and in the tot lot playground, and sitting on the bench was an elderly gentleman with his shirt off, just kind of, watching the children. And obviously not a grandparent. It was just a different individual there. So she's now looking at it from a different perspective. Okay, why is this person here? So it just was a little bit concerning, but not anything that we don't know, but I think sometimes in our community, we feel we're a little bit kind of away from that, and yet it's still within it. So I think just whatever we can do as a park district to either educate our community or to, help facilitate just to keep our children protected. I think just keep doing what we can do in that regard. So that's my comments for this evening.
Any questions of Director Nichols, his report? On that situation you explained with the man without a shirt on sitting around a playground, does our staff at the various, well, that's just the community centers, the parks don't have them, but does our staff every once in a while kind of peruse the playground area, et cetera?
Yeah, with the parks that we have staff at, they do rounds on the parks and check things out and stuff. So they would engage if there was something inappropriate happening or if someone complained about something, but people are allowed to sit there and hang out.
Good. Oh,
I have a question.
yes.
Do people have to be fully clothed at our parks? Do you say anything about that, or is that like not an issue though?
I'm thinking about the ordinance manual. Yes, you have to be clothed, but I mean, it's a guy can be without a shirt.
can be
Yeah,
without a shirt.
yeah. In a park, for sure. Yeah.
So there wouldn't really be anything to call police on or anybody.
No, but I think like what Rochelle said is if our staff is aware of something that seems unusual or inappropriate, they will engage. Like there'll be a conversation and then there'd be some sort of an assessment. And hopefully with, playgrounds, hopefully there's other adult parents around keeping eyes on folks too, but yeah, point well taken. Yeah. We're we're part of the wider world. We aren't, we're close to being in a bubble, but not quite.
Thank you. Okay, Director Bus.
Okay, so I had a wonderful meeting with staff over the field reservation procedures as it's, it's nice being on this board and being well known in the community. So I've had several of my friends and acquaintances reach out to me over a very unique situation that was going on over in Newbury Park. But so I've now learned a lot about how our field reservation system works, and I am really excited about that. Something I didn't think I was going to know, but now I know about it. And it was great. So Rochelle and Tim were awesome, and they also met with the concerned parties, and I think everything has been resolved. Although I have not heard about an email going out yet. I'm hoping to see that at some point from some of my girlfriends. So, and then I went on Monday. So I've been doing my rounds once a month, going to different centers, and I got to go to the Global Center, and it was really fun. And Patty showed me around, and Jim came. And it was very active. There's a lot of people there at 2:00 on a Monday. I was like shocked. And Patty was talking about the meal program and the grant that was coming up. And she said that we actually serve well over the people, the amount allotted for the grant, because people will put in the donation of the $3 or they'll put a little more, what have you. So she said that they never have to turn away anyone. So, and she said there are well over 80 people there a day, which I was like, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, and then talking about, things that we have to deal with in the public, we were looking at the outside, and they have, there was a younger gentleman there who probably I went to high school with, who was homeless and bipolar and what have you. And she was explaining that, they do sleep kind of in the alcoves of the senior center, but then they move their stuff over. And as long as they're, move their belongings, what have you, and don't bother anyone, they're fine to kind of be there. Yeah, so it was really interesting. We did talk about potentially, George, going there and taking up a table to play bingo, but we think that people might get really mad if we took a whole table because it's so popular. So we're not sure if that's a good idea.
Okay.
But I was kind of excited about it, but I don't know if I want seniors to get mad we took a whole table. Yeah, and then later that evening, I got to go to our junior high or middle school intramural basketball game. One of my daughter's friends was playing in it, and she has never played basketball, but she's very athletic, and so it was fun to see them playing. And wow, that whistle is really loud in that gym. And they love to use those things. I was like, wow. So, but it's really competitive. That was, I guess, if they had won that, they would have gone on to championships. And it was very well attended. There's a lot of people who show up for those games with the parents and family. So that was fun to see that. And then I just was at earlier before this meeting, the ad hoc Conejo Creek master plan meeting. And this weekend, I didn't even think about it till right now, but this weekend I'm going to a rodeo in Woodlake. So it's kind of interesting. I haven't been at one of those since we had it at Conejo Valley Days back when I was a kid. And so I am kind of excited to check this out and see what it's like. I'm sure it's nothing like the horse shows I've been going to for English riding. This should be much more lively. So I will come back and report on what I think about rodeos and all of that excitement. So that's it. That's all I got for you.
Oh, thank you very much. Director Bus, we appreciate it. Anybody have any questions of Director Bus and her?
Oh, no.
Oh, Director Cussworth.
So your niece was withdrawn before she started being in the plays at Young
Oh.
Artists,
Yeah.
and she was the dragon?
Yes.
That's hard for me to imagine.
She is such a sweet, sensitive soul, and was having trouble at school connecting with other kids. And getting in that first play, The Witch's Princess, she has found her people. And so even if at school she doesn't have her people or, and doesn't feel as connected, having this, and then she did Finding Nemo, it's huge. And I think it's just really cool that, because you don't have theater in elementary school.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, it's really been transformational for her.
Yeah, the plays were good for my children also. So, but when you said withdrawn, because probably a lot of you didn't see it, that dragon had a lot of personality.
Yeah.
So I was surprised.
Yeah, she loves it.
Okay, any further questions of Director Buss's report? If not, Director Cusworth, please.
So, I have a few things to talk about, but before I forget, in case any of you don't have anything to do on Sunday afternoon, Patty Coleman, who is a professor at Moore Park College, will be speaking on homesteading and women who were homesteaders at the Stagecoach Inn. And we had I'm in charge of that speaker series. We had our first speaker series, a couple of weeks ago with Barbara Tejada, and we had a full house. She was talking about, the Chumash, of course, in the area. It was, amazing. I learned so much. So she was fabulous. And now we're continuing on. We've gone from the Chumash, now we're talking about homesteaders. So we kind of have a very history focused series this year. But I went to the Safe Passage event, the Peace Day, when they had the school day off. It was absolutely magnificent. I really enjoyed it. I was able to see the entire owl show. Because I remember I asked, when's the owl show going to be? But I got there when they were eating lunch and talked with Tim for a while. And then talked with these kids who told me they were with the CCYC. And I hadn't heard of that before, the Conejo Conservation Youth Corps. So they told me that they were working, that they had all been in Safe Passage and they were working. And so Tim has them, he's given them jobs and he has them go out on trails and they come and they do things. They're not volunteers, and they teach them how to write resumes and to go into job interviews. But they're out of the Corps. They take about 10 or 12 at a time. They're out of the Corps when they reach 18. And I said, well, what do they do then? He goes, oh, they all have jobs. And I said, well, what if they don't have jobs? And he goes, they always have had jobs. They always get a job. And so I thought, well, he's taken it from just helping the young kids stay out of gangs to go all the way to get jobs. And I was talking to some of them. One of the boys got plans to get a job, go to Moore Park College, really turning their lives around. And it reminded me of a lecture that I went to at the Civic Arts Plaza. I don't know if any of you have heard of Father Gregory, but he was a priest down in LA, still is, and they had such a huge gang problem. And so we started giving them jobs to work in his bakery. Got a bakery. And he said, I have guys that used to be, they're in jail. I mean, these aren't, they've had hard lives. He goes, I've had guys that were in rival gangs and they're in my back room with hairnets on making croissants, working together. And so I thought Tim really has a vision, and I enjoyed that very much. And I want to give a shout out to Michael Braff over at the Borchard Center. I was talking to Kurt, and he said that he and Michael were the two full-times. They had a lot of volunteers. They had people there from Westlake Rotary. They had a lot of kids volunteers, plus they had a lot of kids. It was very organized. It was an excellent, really excellent event. And so I was talking to him, went up to talk to Michael, introduced myself, said, I'm Nellie Cusworth, I'm on the board. And he says, oh, do you know Harvey Cusworth? And I said, yes, I do know Harvey Cusworth. That is my husband. And so what I liked about this is I like to give a shout out to somebody that has actually interacted with someone, not with me, but my husband, he's probably most of you know, he's a retired art teacher, not a retired artist, but a retired art teacher who's been teaching at the adult school. And a lot of his students have been wanting to, go further. And so we thought, well, I need to do a workshop. And I said, well, why don't you see if you can rent out something at the one of our community centers? He needed a room. So he talked at Conejo Community, and it was fine, but he went over to Borchard, and they had nice windows and a sink. And so I know I'm taking a long time here, but he interacted with Michael. And Michael helped him schedule the room. And he said to me, wow, this guy's really sharp. He's so easy to work with. He showed me around. He helped me with the contract. He told me what insurance to get. And so he was just really impressed with working with Michael. And so anyway, I noticed, and so Harvey and I are both members of the Westlake Village Art Guild. And they had been looking for places to maybe have some art workshops. And I noticed in their last workshop that they're having one at Orchard Center. And I'm sure that they saw that Harvey was, because they're advertising for him. And so now this is opening up another area in our community for us to have art workshops. And so if Michael had not been so easy and wonderful to work with, this might not have happened. And so it's benefiting our community. It's also benefiting them because they had some time that was open that he could rent from. So a shout out to Michael Brown for that. I was at the park dedication, and I know I said this to Andrew already, but I thought it was cute because I was there with my grandkids. So if you're there with your grandkids, I did everything and I was there for 2 hours, as was Director Nichols with his grandkids. You really, you're doing every craft and you're going on everything, and we all had the churros. And so then my grandson said, "Does that bridge go to the library?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, let's go see the fish." And so as we're walking over there, my kids are both holding fish backpacks. And so I said to, Mr. Mooney, "Oh, did you do the fish theme here because it connects with the library and that aquarium?" And he said, "No, but that was a really good connection." And I thought it was wonderful. So we went over there and I saw kids coming out of the library with books in their fish backpack. And I thought, what a great library backpack to be taking to get your books. So I love it when we're kind of connecting with the community like that. And then I was very excited. I watched 2 different sets of grandkids, Harvey and I, for 4 days straight, 24 hours, which was quite an experience. So I wanted to take my 18-month-old to that little park, and she had a great time, and so did her 5-year-old brother. They went to the big one, and that was terrifying me with her, but we went to the little one then, and she had a great time, just great parks. So, kudos to the staff who put on that wonderful opening there. And then lastly, I was in Palm Springs last week, loved the conference. I really like that conference. You get younger people and everything is just very hands-on what they're doing in the parks. And so I ate lunch with some people from Carmichael, California, and they were telling me about all of their programs there, buildings that they have, things that are working. Everybody's talking about pickleball and all of the ways that are trying to solve their pickleball problems, always a theme. Went to one session on seniors, and afterwards, Mike, McAdam was in there and was able to just kind of sit and talk with him for a while about the session. So I said, "Mike, I think we're hitting every, checking every box." And he said, "Yeah, but it was really nice to just be able to talk with him. Like, well, how does this going? How is this going?" Really, really enjoyed that. The last session had a video that I'm going to show to Charlene and Juan. Really enjoyed it. It was on marketing, and it's not anything that they're not already doing, but I was so impressed with it. I wanted to say, hey, this was kind of a cool thing. Maybe we should even get this up on our website every year or something to kind of promote us. The people who put on that one actually are not a rec and park, they're a park and rec. So they have to get their money from the city, which is oftentimes not really, they're saying, well, we can have nonprofits do that. We have schools do that. Why do we need you? And so they have to promote what they're doing so that they can get funded. And so this was a video that they did to show to the city to say, hey, this is what we're doing. It was really quite innovative. I loved it. And then when I went to San Diego, I told you about that amazing park tour I took. And so this time we weren't able to make the park tour, but thanks to Eileen, who got the agenda for me, one of the long lunches, I think they have these long lunches, so you'll spend a lot of time in the exhibit area, but you can really only spend so much time in that exhibit area. So with the vendors. So Harv and I went and did our own park tour and went to all of the different parks one day. So that was very interesting to me. Maybe I'll talk to Jim about some of the things I saw. And then we also took advantage of the day before going to a national park and the day after going to a wilderness conservancy, which is kind of like our Santa Monica Conservancy. Talked with the ranger there, kind of seeing, well, how do you operate? I really, really enjoy going to kind of these other cities in California and seeing, hey, what's going on here? How can we compare? So thank you for sending me there. It was really quite beneficial.
Thank you, Director Cutsworth. Any comments or questions of Director Cutsworth? All right, moving on to Director Huffer.
Thank you, Director Lang. Just a couple of, I guess, sort of official related things. Director Nichols mentioned the Costco meeting a few weeks ago, and we did seat a new board member for Costco, the new public member, Dorothy Sullivan. So be nice to have some new perspectives on the Costco board. And Rochelle mentioned the tax program. When I left 2 weeks ago, we were seeing, maybe 20 or 30 people a day or something like that. Yesterday, I wasn't there yesterday, but yesterday apparently there were close to 50, and we had over 50 people today. And so it's picking up. I was wondering if perhaps people got spoiled last year. They kept extending the tax deadline, and I think it eventually ended up October or November or something. And people are realizing, hey, April 15th really is a deadline this year. So they're starting to pour in. We're hoping we had some people who had to wait more than an hour, which we'd like to avoid, but tell them to come back later. But anyway, the tax program is going well. And what else? I did get a chance. I sort of lost track of when the Costco Challenge ends. Is that April?
I think it's the 15th.
Yeah. So anyway, I had a chance to get well prepared for that between visiting my brother in Tucson and then visiting my daughter and her family in Hawaii. Probably got in 40 or 50 miles of hiking in the 2 weeks that I was there. So that was good warm up. Director Buss mentioned going to see a rodeo up in Sacramento area.
It's Wood Lake. It's like outside of Visalia. It's only 3 hours away.
Okay. Anyway, I had a chance to attend a rodeo while I was in Tucson, but I mean, Tucson is apparently absolutely crazy about rodeos. They closed all the public schools for 2 days when the rodeo comes to town. Thursday is a parade where all the rodeo people are going through town, and then Friday kids are out of school so they can go watch the rodeo events. So they're really in the rodeo in Tucson. So, and then as usual, whenever I'm someplace like in Oahu, checking out all the various parks, and their park system there isn't nearly as good as ours. So
Definitely not.
I think we're doing a great job here. So I think that's all I had to report. Yep, that's it.
Thank you, Director Huffer. Appreciate that. I attended, as a couple others, the Conejo Creek North Playground ribbon cutting. And then I had an MRCA meeting and a Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy meeting where board member Don Robinson, who's been representing the city of Westlake Village for about 30 years, is retired. So he'll eventually be moving out of the area. So we had a kind of a recognition and farewell for Mr. Robinson. And I think that's the extent of my board report. Any comments or questions? Okay, we're moving on to item 12, requests for status reports and items for subsequent agendas. Anybody have a item they'd like to bring up subsequent? Okay. Have any public online over there? Nope. Okay, we have no need for a closed session, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I would like to adjourn this meeting in honor of Director Nichols' mother-in-law, Lucy Ballard, Lacey's mother. My association was through the church Holy Trinity, where my wife taught Honey Tree, and Lucy by profession was a nurse, correct?
Yes.
And she kind of was adopted as the Honey Tree staff nurse for all their inoculations and other situations associated with items that needed a nurse and so forth, so. And then ironically, I interfaced with her husband, Roy, correct? What is memory here? Roy Ballard, and in a professional way when I was doing some consulting work for Lytton Guidance and Control. But with that, and then I'm going to ask for Director Nichols to make some comments, but I just wanted to alert you that we'll be adjourning in honor of Lucy Ballard. And maybe you can start off with how old she was.
Lucy passed away Monday of this week at the age of 98.
98.
And she and her husband, Roy, or commonly called Jake, moved to Thousand Oaks in 1963, before the city was incorporated, and lived there for the rest of their lives. Jake passed away about 10 years ago. She worked at California Lutheran University, was the head of the health program there, but the health unit, is the nurse, the director there for about 25 years. If you walk through the halls of the Las Rosas Hospital, you may see a picture of her measuring the height of Too Tall Jones, standing on a chair trying to get to the top of his head. But yes, she has lots of memories there with the Cowboys and the John Wooden basketball camp that they would have over there. So she was, it was honored there through the university as well. Jake was on the school board for the Oxnard Unified School District when they were still in charge here in this local area. So they have a lot of roots, a lot of legacy in this area. They'll be missed. I think they have 38 great grandchildren. So they have quite with all the they have 6 children. So it'd be quite a legacy to live up to. She was quite the fact. Yeah, attended Holy Trinity Lutheran Church, and we'll miss her. Appreciate the honor. I know she would too.
Yeah, and give our condolences to Lisi.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Okay, well, with that, this meeting is adjourned. And have a good rest of the week. Oh, I know.